Good morning, Rishwan.
Good morning, sir. So, how you started your business in a country like Sudan, and how you are maintaining your good run in this country like Sudan in North Africa, something different, like out of this context is what you have in India?
I basically followed the general principles of marketing and management here. When I came, I did a Reiki, a market survey, and found out the various alternative business models which can be implemented in Sudan. And there I found that, I had mainly two options, either to open shop, open our own affiliate company in Sudan, or that would mean, building our own infrastructure, or outsource the infrastructure through a local distributor. So these two models were, the most suitable alternatives. But then, after analyzing the pros and cons, we opted for a local distributor. Who had connections, who knew the business, who had good distribution system. We did the SWOT analysis for the distributor and decided we zeroed on one distributor. But basically, again, all this depends on, you must have learned the 4 C's. It depends on connections, communication, collaboration, and finally the community. Whenever these are general principles. You go to any foreign country, you want to start business, these are the principles that you have to follow. And now I am in a niche industry which is pharmaceutical industry. So there I have to find out what are the need gaps. What's the size of the market?
That is my next question actually. What kind of need of people of Africa you are serving and how you are making business out of it? That is my...
Yes. See, we have a lot of wrong notions about Africa. Actually, Africa today, even in Sudan, in Khartoum, the total population is 40 million. But we find that 10% of the total population, they are suffering from diabetes. So we straight away have a 4 million population suffering from hyperglycemia, high blood sugar. And once a person has high blood sugar, there is related diseases like hypercholesterol, hypertension. So these are lifestyle diseases which perhaps we don't think of in Africa. We think that, Africa means tropical diseases, malaria and things like that. So I worked on this therapeutic sector and I registered products for these diseases.
So your niche segmentation is on this one?
Yeah, see, in pharmaceutical industry, most of the major players are working on chronic diseases, long-term therapy. These are all strategic products. So the patient is on one pill of hypertension, continues lifelong. Patient is on one pill of diabetes, continues lifelong. So that's why you asked me, how am I maintaining this run? One of the reasons is the product category. The products that we have decided for this country will keep me running for many more years.
And one more thing is that the competencies you have in India, it has to be different in Sudan.
Right.
So what company you develop after coming to Sudan?
Absolutely. What I had to do is basically build a team. Again, as I told you, in connection, communication, collaboration, community, you have to adapt yourself to the local culture, the lifestyle, right? I had to know working Arabic first of all, and then I understood the psyche of the people, the working people here. So all this is very important to build a team, an effective team. So once you build an effective team and you train them, you motivate them, then things are in place. Your strategies, your plans, they are in place.
Yeah. Now the next part is something different, like that being an expatriate, How do you feel really Sudan is? Is it safe? Is it good for the common people? Is it good for the other expatriates? How you really feel like being an expatriate?
Yeah, I mean, this is a good question. I'm happy that you asked me, because there is a wrong notion about Sudan, Khartoum, or whatever. Because people, there's a lot of media bias, the Western media influence, and I'm here with my family, my wife and children for the last 8 years. Well, let me tell you, in these last 8 years, I have just had perhaps one incidence of riots or something in the 8 years, and one incidence of insurgency where I was not physically affected. I was away from the site of action. Otherwise, I think Khartoum is the most safe and secure capital city in the Arab and African world.
And what about Sudan as a whole?
Sudan as a whole, well, see, there are areas. Sudan is the largest country in Africa. There are places in the west like Darfur or some places in the south where there is disturbance, there is law and order situation. You tell me which country doesn't have law and order situation. But relatively this is much safer. I would say, of course, this is my personal opinion, I would say that living in Khartoum last 8 years have been safer than my previous years in India.
That's really nice. The Sudan government will be really happy to hear this.
Yes, yes.
One more thing is that as a normal buyer, suppose you're going to a market buying things, how you find about the import goods which Sudan is importing and selling to the normal buyers? So as a normal buyer, what is your belief?
Yeah. The normal consumer or the customer remains slightly dissatisfied in Sudan, in Khartoum. Because, you see, now you have to address two different segments of customers. The customers, the majority of the customers outside Khartoum in the rural Sudan, they are quite happy because they are living on indigenous